Cats. Everyone loves them. Well, except maybe birds and shrews and other small animals. Still, they're super cute, despite all the sharp bits and murderous intent. They've also been hugely significant throughout human history, valued as companions, revered as signs of good luck, feared as omens of misfortune, and even worshipped as deities. Nowadays, they mostly star in videos on the internet, but they do occasionally show up in other forms of media too, either anthropomorphized or just as normal old kitties. With Stray's recent release, you might be craving some more cat-focused action, so today we're looking back at 10 cat-centric interactive adventures from gaming's past. And we don't just want to play games involving cats, we want to play as the cat, control the cat, be the cat. Fortunately, there is a surprising number of games that let you do this, and we've selected some of the more interesting ones to kill your curiosity. So, empty the litter tray, vacuum all the hair out of the carpet, and soothe the scratches you got from the last time you dared to give your feline friend a belly rub, because it's time to play cat video games rather than look after one. I think you'll agree it's the best experience of the two. I'm the cute and cuddly Ashton from Triple Jump, and here are 10 video games in which you play as a cat. Number 10, Cat Quest. Released on multiple platforms in 2017, Cat Quest is set in the world of Feline Guard, starring a heroic cat of mysterious dragon blood lineage. Players take on the role of this cuddly adventurer as he sets off on a quest to rescue his sister from a mysterious masked Moggy with magic powers. This idea to take a fantastical story and populate it with cats isn't entirely new, but Cat Quest handles it with aplomb, featuring a cute and clean visual style and satisfying hack-and-slash loot-based RPG gameplay. Equipping your hairy hero with cat accessories and exploring places like the Cat Patrol City is just irresistibly adorable. The game performed well enough to receive a sequel, Cat Quest 2, released in 2019. Developers Gentle Bros took an outrageous risk with the follow-up, adding 2 playable characters, one of whom is a dog. I know, I couldn't believe it either. The cat and dog duo must form a begrudging alliance and team up to face the evil that threatens the land. If even cats and dogs are cooperating to defeat it, you know the stakes must be sky high. Number 9, Blinx the Time Sweeper. This Xbox exclusive was released in 2002 and was an attempt by Microsoft to create his very own animal mascot character to rival Sonic the Hedgehog and Crash Bandicoot. It didn't work, as Blinx the Time Sweeper never got a sequel and is mostly forgotten about today. The game was also released in the same year that Microsoft bought Rare, and suddenly found themselves neck deep in established animal mascot character to squander. It's a shame, because Blinx definitely had some quirky potential. It's an action platformer in which the protagonist is armed with a time-altering vacuum cleaner. This chronology-warping suction device is able to rewind, fast-forward, or pause time, opening up interesting puzzle opportunities and gameplay options. Blinx can even record himself, essentially creating a time clone that performs his previous actions. So why didn't this combination of cool cat mascot and temporal distortion catch on? Well, reviewers and gamers at the time were unimpressed with its frustrating controls and high difficulty, and Blinx failed to attract the younger audience that Microsoft were hoping for. Still, at least the poor cat didn't have to carry around that vacuum cleaner for too long. Everyone knows that cats are terrified of those things. Number 8, A Street Cat's Tale. With its cute pixel art and charming isometric perspective, this 2019 adventure looks like a delightfully cutesy romp for cat lovers to casually enjoy without a care in the world. Beware, however, because underneath this fluffy surface, you'll find tears and heartbreak. This is the tale of a lost and lonely kitten, separated from its mama in an upsetting incident involving a fast-moving vehicle. As the orphaned cat, the player must explore, interact with people and other animals, and try to survive. Life is tough for the lost kitty on the streets, and hunger and health become immediate concerns. Depending on the path you choose, the health of other strays can become an issue to you too. You'll also need to take care of the shelter. The better your digs, the more ready your kitten self will be to face the day. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, this game is not for cat lovers with a faint heart. The likelihood is that the cat will die. A lot. Even if you do survive, many of the endings aren't exactly sunshine and fields of catnip either. Stick it out and you might achieve that ultimate happy ending you crave, but many, many tears will be shed along the way. By you, I mean. I'm too cool to cry about cats. You, however, well, you're going to be an absolute wreck. Number 7, Alley Cat. Released in 1983 for the Atari family of consoles, Alley Cat is proof that people wanted to play games about cats even in the olden days. The game is an example of a very simple premise handled in an interesting and slightly bonkers way. Players take on the role of Freddy the cat, who must woo the object of his kitty affections, Felicia. It won't be easy though, as Freddy's just an alley cat, and Felicia is one of those highfalutin apartment cats. In order to prove his wealth, Freddy must get out of the alley, avoid passing dogs and falling hazards, and climb through apartment windows. Once inside, the rooms offer various challenges. These involve stealing food from sleeping dogs, collecting items from a bookshelf while avoiding cat-bothering spiders, or catching fish from a tank while avoiding electric eels. Surely you need a license or something to keep those as a pet. Anyway, complete all the challenges, and Felicia will appear at the top of a weird Valentine-themed maze, complete with arrow-firing cupids and filled with other would-be suitors. Honestly, the things we do for love. Number 6, Goto Roboto. From retro to retro-styled, Goto Roboto is a 2019 2D Metroidvania game with a striking 2-colour visual style and fluid animation. Not content to just let you play as a cat, Goto Roboto's feline protagonist is also able to pilot various mechs throughout the game, increasing her resilience and abilities and granting weapons with which to take out various cute enemies. While a cat piloting a robot exoskeleton might seem a bit far-fetched, cat owners will sympathise with how the story begins. A human pilot named Gary is responding to a distress call on a planet, and the ship crashes thanks to his cat Kiki walking across the spaceship controls. Kiki must make up for that transgression by exploring the planet and finding out what's going on, with Gary guiding her through her radio collar. Like most space adventures, there is a truly epic mystery to unravel as you gradually explore the labs, aqueducts and ventilation systems of the planet. Prepare to uncover fascinating secrets involving mad scientists, a sick dog called Barkley, and the transference of consciousness between bodies. Things get a little wild later on, but Kiki remains unfazed throughout. She's just enjoying the chance to be a hero and operate devastating weapon systems. It's every cat's dream, to be honest. Number 5, Rocking Cats. This NES platformer was released in 1991, and it follows a blue-haired cat named Willy as he opposes a set of canine mobsters. Set in New York City, Rocking Cats has a musical theme, as jazz musician Willy tries to save his girlfriend from nefarious kidnapping gangsters who seem to have a jazz band of their own. In order to save his beloved from the musical Mutt Mafia, Willy carries an extendable punching glove. Not only can this improbable piece of equipment bop enemies aside, it can also somehow grab onto hooks and ledges, allowing Willy to swing around in a brazen display of cat-like agility. He can also upgrade it to fire projectiles or cause more damage. We're not exactly sure what a jazz musician is doing with this Inspector Gadget level equipment, but we'll let it slide. Incidentally, Rocking Cats was made by Atlus, which means that, in a way, Willy is a precursor to Morgana from Persona 5. As far as anthropomorphic cats dreamed up by legendary Japanese RPG developers go, I bet Willy wouldn't make me go to bed though. Jazz musicians are just getting started when the sun goes down. Number 4, Blacksad Under the Skin. Everyone knows that the best heroes are called John. John Wick, John McClane, John Matrix, John 111, the list goes on. The hero of this particular piece is a dignified and extremely hench-looking black cat named John Blacksad, star of Spanish comic book series Blacksad and the protagonist of Blacksad Under the Skin. Released in multiple formats in 2019, Blacksad Under the Skin is a moody crime yarn set in 1950s America with a sweet jazzy soundtrack. Maybe Willy performed it. Mixing animal characters with moody adult themes meant that Blacksad wasn't for everyone. But the game offered a detailed and stylish adventure with a complex mystery to untangle. Drawing comparisons with various offerings from Telltale Games and other detective adventures, Blacksad switches things up by making use of the protagonist's feline senses to perceive clues and then arrange them and piece them together to find the answers. If you liked LA Noire but spent the entire game wishing Cole Phelps was a bit furrier, then this one's for you. Number 3, Legend of Kay. Originally released for the PS2 in 2005, Legend of Kay is a tale of a hot-headed, sword-wielding cat named Kay, who steals his master's mystical sword in order to liberate his land from its oppressors. These oppressors, a conglomerate of rats and gorillas called the Din, have enlisted the help of armed crocodiles, turtles, bears, and more to form their army. Chaotic creature combat ensues. With a whimsical eastern atmosphere, a bright and colourful world to explore, and satisfying hack-and-slash combat, Legend of Kay was generally well received by critics as a decent, if somewhat unspectacular, adventure. One thing that's really remarkable about Legend of Kay, however, is just how many times it's found its way back onto store shelves over the years. Despite being a somewhat understated title, Legend of Kay has received numerous re-releases. A DS version appeared in 2010, and versions of the PS2 game with improved graphics have surfaced on PC, PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, and PS4, with the most recent release being in 2018 for the Nintendo Switch. This thing is everywhere. It's probably right between your feet when you walk into the kitchen too.
Number 2, Cat Lateral Damage. Cat Lateral Damage is a game about the tendency of felines to push things off desks and shelves. Released across multiple formats from 2013, the game allows players to become a naughty kitty as they leap from surface to surface, dispensing unnecessary mayhem and destruction on unprecedented scale. If something isn't on the floor, it soon will be. Owners of unruly cats will be familiar with such behaviour, and Cat Lateral Damage gives you the opportunity to partake in it without breaking your own stuff. There are a few game modes on offer, including a time mode, in which players must cause as much damage as possible, a race against the clock to knock a certain amount of items onto the floor quickly, and a free play mode for unlimited, stress-free destruction. While not exactly brimming with content or cutting-edge technology, Cat Lateral Damage is a lot of fun and gives you the unique opportunity to see acts of random household object violence from the point of view of the perpetrator. After playing this, maybe you'll be more understanding the next time Mr. Tiddle knocks a full glass of water onto your keyboard for no good reason. Probably not, though. And number 1, Bad Cat. Bad Cat for the Commodore 64 is a very strange game. Starring what appears to be some kind of street cat with attitude, players take on the control of Bad Cat as he negotiates various obstacle courses in different locations around town. Prepare to leap over walls, balance on beach balls, avoid dogs in sewers, and even do a bit of bowling while having a few beers at the pub. It's all a bit disjointed and it raises a lot of questions. Who is Bad Cat? What makes him bad? Why is he doing all these things? What is the end goal? Why is the game making vaguely offensive accusations about my mother? No one knows the answers, and honestly, no one has bothered to look into it. As Bad Cat's nonsensical premise is accompanied by frustrating controls and unclear objectives that make the whole thing difficult to enjoy. We really wanted to show this game for its loading screen artwork though. Throughout this list, you've seen adorable little adventurer cats, cute pixel kittens, cool and fierce anthropomorphic felines, and more, but none of it quite compares to this guy. Honestly, I think that if I ran into this particular stray in the alleyway, instead of giving him pets, I think I'd just hand over my purse. I don't know why everyone is afraid of black cats. It's Bad Cat you don't want to cross paths with.